Jason, Mike, the Escape Room guys. Like we said, we're going to be back with episode 4, Dispatch by Breakout Games, On the Run, Box 4, Chapter 3.
This one takes place in Australia.
So this one significantly easier than Box 3. Make sure you have everything on the list. There's a couple of interesting puzzles that are kind of up my alley, but I felt like one or two of them were just a waste of materials. You'll understand that, I think, when you figure them out. Some things of note in here, there's a deck of playing cards, there's a little bit of math in this one. I know everybody hates math for some reason, but it's really
simple math. It's simple math.
One thing we will tell you is look closely at everything that's in there. There was a website somewhere that we just completely missed that you do need to answer the questions on
to move forward.
That. I don't want to say much more about it.
So the other thing is, like I mentioned in some of the other videos, you may need to use Google. There is something that you can use to just plug into Google if you need some answers. That's all I'm going to say about that. But that will give you a little message. The one thing that we forgot to mention in the last one is...
We're saying it now because it's the same puzzle, but it's...
You're going to have some things like this. It's some letters with some numbers after them. Best thing to do would be to Google the acronym and use something from Box 3 in order to figure that out. It came pretty quickly.
Box 2.
Box 2, Chapter 3, yes. We're now in Chapter 4, Box...
No, we're in Box 3, Chapter 4.
Box
I can't
3.
keep his name in.
No, we're in Box 4, Chapter 3.
Right, so Box 2 has the key to doing that in the...
Yes,
in this
you just have to remember.
box.
We're lucky that we did them one after another. But...
we'll post a spoiler in a separate video.
Wikipedia will be your friend with this one. Let's just say it that way. And you'll be able to figure out things pretty quickly. And that will give you some very good insight into this puzzle. And again, you will have to use things from, I would say, Box 1 in this one will help you.
Yeah.
Look very closely at everything. Read everything, including captions and descriptions and things like that. And then compare those items to other things that you may find.
With respect to the playing cards I mentioned earlier, I'll give you a hint on that. They do correspond to one other puzzle. So if you can't figure out what to do with them, don't waste time trying to decipher the playing cards. Just wait until you do the math.
For those of you who are musically inclined, there is some music that you have to read. I was able to get that, and then we both pieced together the last part of the puzzle, which allowed us to get the message that we were supposed to get. And for those of you very artistically inclined, there's even a little bit of coloring that you might need to do.
The clue on it's actually printed on there for you. Take it literally. There's nothing to it other than doing what it says.
Mm-hmm.
So
don't read into it. Don't overthink it.
And use one of the other items they give you on everything.
And you might even need some Morse code information, but again, Wikipedia might help you there for more than one reason. Yeah. So this one, much easier. You will find things in this box that you might not need until a later box. But read everything carefully. Take notes, as we mentioned before, because they will come into play at some point, we believe. And yeah, this one, a little easier. We got to play around with some cool different lighting effects on this one. Let's just say it that way. Yeah, I liked this one a lot better, not just because it was in Australia, but...
Easier makes it more fun, too.
It was, and we solved this one in a third of the time that it took us to do Tokyo. And I don't think we even needed to look up anything for... on Slack, which is how you get your puzzles for this. So, yeah. That's all I got.
Works for me. See you in Box 5.
See ya.